Happy Tuesday, everyone. Shalom. Is it Tuesday? Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Shalom. And shalom means peace. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to wait for some people to get into the chat before I really get into my title. I have said in the past that I have had. Hey, awesome who dat. I have had I have been transgressed against sexually. I didn't really want to make a lot of that part of my channel because it's not going to be a woe is me channel. It's more about positivity, leaning towards positivity, pushing peace, everything you guys see me doing on my channel. But there comes a time where you have to talk about serious things, um and be very delicate about it, but also um put it out there so that, number one, people don't think that they're alone. People don't think that they can't talk about what they've been through, and then people can start their healing process or get closer to starting their healing process. Maybe they're going through trauma, bad relationships, substance abuse, um, thoughts of taking themselves off of this world because of what they've been through. So I myself, I 26 years ago, and I am proud of myself. And another reason why I haven't been working a lot is because I have to take time to go through the motions because I call what I go through. So, like I said, it's 26 years ago. Um, Certainly, anything that happens 26 years ago, if it wasn't that, someone would say, okay, it's time to get over it. But I go through what I call molecular or cellular depression. I looked it up. I don't think it's a thing. Um, but it's where, and I'm going to tell you, um, the way I describe it is, say, okay, so this event happened in January. I was transgressed against in January. It wasn't an event. Well, it was an event in my life. And so around November starts creeping up. December gets really, really strong, start taking days off and not really know what's going on, what I'm going through. Okay. January, full blown, like I got to take a week off of work. It's really embarrassing. 2 years ago, I wasn't even thinking about what happened because usually start thinking about it. Um, I started going through a depression and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why am I feeling this way? Everything's going pretty good. Um, but it was like my body was so used to going through that depression that it just automatically would go through it. Like I automatically would have the symptoms. November it started. December got progressively worse. January it was horrible. And then by February it was better. And embarrassingly enough, I actually um have had to, because I used to be a manager in my former life, and while I do believe in FMLA, I did have a lot of employees who abused it, um and I had to be strategic because it's like, of course you're going to need off on Christmas, of course you're not going to be feeling well on New Year, so it's like if you had FMLA, then it was like, okay, I'm not going to see you for the holidays. Um, Never had to go through FMLA. I was talking about being a manager, and I'll get back and I'll get back to my point. And I'm sorry, you guys. Sometimes I will get distracted, and I have to come back to what I was saying. But I will come back to what I was saying. So yes, um, okay, yeah, yeah, okay. So being a manager during that time, taking a lot of time off. Hey, real. I just wanted to know after this if you wanted to do a StreamYard about um guys and girls, men and women being friends. If not, then that is definitely fine too. Um, so I was saying, even if I had forgotten about it, like my body would still go through that depression. It would be hard. Like all I could do for the day was like take a shower, um, wash my hair. Hey, Fantastic Five. I'm here waiting at a birthday party. Okay, I hope you have a good. I hope whoever. So what I will do real is after this, I'll just strike up another StreamYard, and it's gonna be like 30, 35, 40 minutes. Now nothing too big. I just want to say this real quick. Okay, so this happened. Now, also, and I think goes through for all women, but especially me, I developed very, very, very early, very early. Like in elementary school, I was very, very developed looking. I do feel like I obviously feel like I look like a child, but there were times when I was groped a lot growing up. Um, I'm the type of person to this day. If you come like right now I'm working in a different hospital. Some of my coworkers are touchy feely, and if they like you, they'll come up and they'll hug you, and like they'll hug you from the back or whatever. I don't grow off. I might stiffen up a little bit. I don't have like this crazy traumatic response to it, but I am the kind of and let me tell you something. I do love hugs. I love hugs. Hi Joe. I love hugs. I love affection. But yeah, but if you're kind of sort of a stranger, it's not the best feeling. I really don't like people to go behind me and hug me. I, I would like to give consent if you're going to touch me. So my journey, my journey of coming through this, it's been a long one. It's been it's been it's just had a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and surely a lot of lows. And now that it's getting better, it's starting to I'm starting to feel like I can enter this next portion of my life without that being a drag on me. So I pray to the Lord that does not become something that comes back um, because the evil one wants me to be in wallow, right? Wallow in that depression. You got to break through it. And it's helping me a lot with even anxiety. It's helping me a lot with even panic attacks. Um, Overcoming this event. But I did want to say, we have to recognize that guys go through those same experiences. They go through those same experiences, and there's a lot of guys that I know. I don't even with my male patients. I don't ever go to grab that to hug. Well, you're not really supposed to hug your patients, but you do sometimes, of course. When they're getting better and stuff like that. They can think that the hug means something different. So even with my male patients, I even to like dap them up, I'm like, you want to dap up? And if they're like, no, it's like, okay. Even with that, like I'm very sensitive with that. But I wanted to talk to you about a experience that I had, and um just wanted to say also when it comes to assault, when it comes to aggressing against somebody, raping, sexually assaulting, groping, molesting, um when it comes to that, just realize that the effects of that, the domino effects of that can be pretty severe. Some people, they go through it, and it's different for everyone. But I was working at a place where, and I don't know if this is just part of being in the workplace. Hey, Queen Scorp. Shalom. Happy. Thank you for being here. Um, in the workplace, at some point there's going to be conversations, sexual conversations, and it's part of, like, sometimes you're bored and it comes up. One second. Real says, I know Italian men who give the hug and a kiss on the cheek, but that's just how they do. And gentlemen from the South do hug as a greeting and respect. Yes, I'm not against. Listen, I mean, in the Caribbean, we give each other the two air kisses and hugs. And Caribbean people are very affectionate. By nature, we're just very affectionate, touchy feely people. And so um I don't have a problem with that with people that I know, but if it's just like my mom's friends from 30 years who changed my diaper and she expects me to know who I am, I really don't need you to be too touchy-feely with me. Real says, but there are some who have a little more on their mind though. Scorpio Mama says, I don't like to be touched. Yeah, so I was at work and they were having this conversation. And then so there was this one of my coworkers, um her and I, we weren't close, but the thing was, like, we both like Black Sheriff, which is a Ghanaian rapper. He speaks in English and he speaks in Twi, and just know that I'm pronouncing Twi wrong, but he's from Ghana. He speaks Twi, and so the thing with her and I was like we were always in competition to, like, because she's from Africa, but not from where he's from. So she does not know his language. So it was like we would like pick one of his songs and we would try to be like to sing it. We would try to be like to understand, not to understand, but to get the words quicker than the other person. Hey Roselle, thank you so much for coming in, Roselle. Happy Tuesday and shalom. So we would, like, of course she was I think she was a little bit better. She might have known a little, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, so we had that. And then not only that, but she would complain to me about her husband and how he doesn't do certain things and how that she was like sexually frustrated, and she was thinking about dipping outside her marriage. And I told her very, very briefly, I'm not the person to talk about. I'm not married. I can't give you advice. I would say my only advice would be, if you're thinking about stepping out your relationship, then finish something before you start something else. Anyways, all right. Days go by, we're having this conversation. Everybody's pulled into one place because it's like funny or whatever. I get up to go do something, forget what it was. I come back and they're talking. She sees me, she comes up to me, and she grabs my crotch, like grabs. And it was, and so after she did that, like everybody was looking like, oh, what are you going to do? And I was like, this is not, I was like, no, this is not funny. This is not funny. And I looked at her, I go, what made you feel like a comfortable? Because I always, and let me tell you guys that always, I know this is 2026. I only like guys. I've never liked women, not interested, yuck, leave me alone. Never have I been curious, nothing. And I've always, if we've had a conversation, been very, very upfront about that. So let's go the clown. Let me stop. Yeah, I was so okay. So I was, yeah, so and okay. Also, and keep in mind, no, not keep in mind. Okay, this was number two where she aggressed against me because it was like after I did my breast reduction. Okay, I understand you want to know what it looks like, you want to know how it feels, blah 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 blah. I just had surgery. If I don't know you, I'm not gonna like show you anything. And she was one of the people who I was like, I'm not gonna show you anything. After I said that, it was like a day later, she came up to me and she grabbed my breast. And I told her right then and there, I was like, you need to stop putting your hands on me. I was like, first of all, I just had surgery. I still have a lot of pain. I'm not getting the good stuff. I'm getting just the regular pain medication. I can't, if you grab me, I cannot take pain medication for another how many hours, because it's like you can only take it for so many hours. So now I'm in pain, you witch, because you grabbed my breast after I told everybody I was going to have breast reduction surgery because obviously my boobs were out of control and they would notice the difference. And then I also told them, because I worked on a Scorpio Mama, yes, and I'm getting them smaller again. So yeah, I bet she got I bet she got angry afterwards when you put up boundaries. I put up boundaries with her because, first of all, she's coming to me she's a married woman. She's a married woman who's starting to seek out. Maybe I don't know. Maybe she was exploring her sexuality. I will say, I'll even say for the Caribbean, places in the places in the Caribbean, you're not gonna if you kill somebody who they say is gay, you're not going to jail. They don't put you in jail. Being gay is like the death sentences in a lot of communities. And you know what? She's from Nigeria, and in Nigeria, it's the same way. It's the same way. I don't know if you. I don't know if people can kill people just for being gay, but you being gay, your family's gonna ostracize you and not have anything to do with you, which is not my problem. I mean, I do feel bad for those people overseas who are gay and who are, they're living their life and they're not touching people inappropriately. And I had told her, I said, I had this situation. And so now you're on strike too, because you done freaking Donald Trump me. And I'm talking about, like, she grabbed me, like almost like she wanted to see if there was going to be like a response from me. No, darling. And she said in front of everybody, oh my gosh, when I did that, it was like electricity just went all through me. And like people were laughing and I was humiliated. I was so angry. And I always said, like, I said it for a man, like, oh my goodness, if a man ever tries me again, he's going to go meet his maker. But it was like, this is a woman, so what do I do? So I took her to the corner. I took her to the corner after everybody had cooled off. After everybody had cooled off, after I had done some things. And she, not only is she brave, I sometimes I feel like I just give too much grace to people. Too much grace because I was definitely in leadership position. I definitely could have just ended everything. And I didn't because all I could think of are her children. But the thing is like, you have children. Would you want somebody to do that to your kids? Like, I don't understand. You would want somebody to touch your kids in a inappropriate way. You know who I am. You actually, I got a dude. I got a dude. And I'm not laughing because I'm funny. I'm laughing because I'm getting mad. But it was like I told her, I said, let me tell you something. You grabbed my breast when I just had surgery on them. I came back to work early because I work in healthcare and we're always critically short. I let everybody know what was going on with me. So, because I usually would work with the acutely psychotic patients. And that's because if you're not used to working with the acutely psychotic patients or you're not comfortable, you could get hurt. Like I said, sometimes the patients, they will look at you, they will think you are a demon, they will think you are a devil. And listen, okay, let me finish this. Yeah, so I took her aside and I said, listen, Felicia, because that was her name. I said, the next time you put your hands on me, you're going to lose your job. I will sue you for pain and suffering because my situation, there was a case. There was a case, so they will know, be with documentation, that I am a victor of sexual assault. You're gonna lose your job, and if I see you, I'm a what, because I did not feel like that was I was not I didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was sexy. I already told her, don't put your hands on me. I had explained to her and others about my situation because I'm always wanting to help others. Or even if people don't talk about it, at least they hear somebody else talk about it. And, they feel like, okay, I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm listening to this person. And I don't talk about it with, it's not that they are. It's not that they are. It's not that they are what real. I'm sorry. Um. See, I shouldn't even looked into the chat. Um. Yeah, I just basically let her know, and I wasn't kidding. I was going to sue her. I have a friend who's a lawyer. I was going to sue her. I definitely was going to come after her job, and I definitely was going to, what? Don't put your hands on me. It was very, very humiliating. I don't think I don't think I I I went to different units. I didn't go back to that unit. Um it's not that they are comfortable, fun. They are just very bold and unfiltered. Yeah, it's very bold for you to put your hands on somebody when nobody else is looking, but when everybody else is looking, and I had even walked away because it was like, sometimes me personally, like, I'm not the type of person to sit around. and talk about, first of all, if I'm not having sex with you, there's really not a reason for me to be talking about sex. I'm not one of those people who has to sit around and talk about sex for 5 hours. And you know what I mean? It's a vapid conversation for me. If I'm in a relationship with you or getting into a relationship with you, we can have a conversation. Hi, I said what I said. Thank you for dropping down. Thank you. Scorpio Mama, I I mean, I do have friends who are gay. I have nothing against I have absolutely nothing against the gay community, obviously, because I have friends who are gay. Um and actually, you've got y'all would actually probably be very, 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 very interested to know how they feel about certain things going on. But anyways, yes, 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 yes. And after that, she avoided me like the plague. She avoided me like the plague. I did tell anybody, if she puts her hands on you, you let me know. We'll take care of it. And I let everybody know. Um, and no, and it's part when you get hired for a job, any job, McDonald's, sexual harassment is part of your orientation. So you know that's not allowed. And sexual harassment, and when it comes to sexual harassment in this day and age, if somebody feels like you are sexually harassing somebody else and it bothers them, you can get in trouble because somebody else feels like you're sexually harassing somebody else. I don't call that sexual harassment. She put her hands on my down there and felt around and it was like, and you know what? Nobody came and asked me was I okay. And it was almost like oh, is she gonna go through it? It wasn't like a dang, she shouldn't have done that kind of thing. So I took care of it by myself. Um and the anger went away. She went away. She ended up leaving. Um but nobody ever asked if I was okay or how did that make you feel. And I would just like to say, men, if you tomorrow, later down the line, years from now, if that's been your situation where you've been transgressed upon and nobody asked you how it made you feel, I would just like to apologize in their stead, because I know a lot of men, they don't get taken seriously. And I know a lot of men, you guys, I've seen, there was actually men get sexually assaulted by women too. If a man says that women, like people say, like men, oh, men can't take no, women can't take no sometimes as well. Like, hold on. It's funny because men can get sexually harassed too, but it's not widely looked into. Women grab butts, sausages. That's what I'm just. Thank you, real. Thank you. That's what I'm just coming to say right now. We're in the same vein, real. If you, a man, and that's why I was saying real, like women can't take no sometimes either. If a man don't want to have sex with you, he don't want to have sex with you. You don't grab their, I what I've seen women go up and just grab man's body parts, and it's like men wanting to be the hunter. They might have been attracted to the woman, but because the woman did that, it was like embarrassing. And you would think a man would be like, oh, that's good. No, it was like embarrassing. I There was actually a case. I need to go follow up. It was a couple years ago, but there was a man, he had a girlfriend. And he went to a gas station store to get snacks. Sorry about that, real. Sorry about that, real. Real said he had it done in the past, and yet it is a bit of a shock for sure. for sure, for sure. And I'm sorry that you had that done real. And I hope that you're feeling better, much better about it. So I hope you're feeling better about that real. It didn't bother me, but it was a shock at the moment. I know, but I feel like it does bother some men. I don't want women to feel like it's okay to go groping a man and then you cry if a man gropes a woman. Um, um, equally, each instance is equally as unnerving, equally as wrong. But this guy, he had a girlfriend. He went to the gas station. When he was in the gas station, there were two girls in there that had noticed him. He was a very, very good looking gentleman. They propositioned him and he was like, no, like, no. And it was two chicken heads in there trying to. So when he said no, these girls started like grabbing his private parts, like grabbing his private parts. And it was like he had to like drop stuff. It was like he was trying to defend himself and nobody was helping him. Nobody was helping him. And I think he reached out to the news because he was just like, why is this okay? And I was like, why is that okay? I didn't think that was okay at all. Not at all. But I mean, wherever Felicia is, I hope she's keeping her hand to herself. Hope she got her divorce and got her a nice woman or a nice man to settle down with because it was not going to be me, and I was not happy. Not happy. I just, you guys just be very careful when it comes to putting your hands on people. Try not to do it. Or learn them and learn what's comfortable for them and not what's comfortable for them. And even in a relationship, I think in a relationship, like if my man came and hugged me from the behind, I would like that. But no, not a stranger. Not really anybody I know either. I don't really like that either. But yeah. All right, you guys. Next year I would love I'm gonna keep on saying it just because I think that as I say it, maybe people will think about it and think about joining the panel. But next year, I'm going to, speaking about sex, I'm going to have a healthy conversation about sex after sexual assault, about sexuality, about, it's going to be, yeah, sex after sexual assault. What did you experience? What and this it's for both men and women. It's for both men and women, and I have to keep putting that up there. I don't have a lot of men. I don't have a lot of men that come to my um page, but I am, how do you call it? I am doing a lot of um reaching out to people. I'm doing a lot of bridge building, trying to increase numbers on my channel. And because in between, the cooking and the traveling and the outfits and everything, we're going to we can have these conversations. And I don't know if um also you guys please join my second channel. It's in my government name, Cynthia Johnson. First name is Cynthia, Cynthia. My last name is Johnson, John, as in Frank, INN. So that is going to be my homeless outreach. I'm sorry, the only thing that's up there are videos of my face. I wanted to put something up there, but it will be my homeless outreach channel. And also, I think when we have conferences and I do lives from church, I think I'll put those on that channel as well. And then I can just post verses on that channel. I'll post verses here and talk about the Lord here as well. Um, because I don't want it to be like, okay, we're partying here and we're praising the Lord here. No, we're praising the Lord all the time. So it's gonna be the same thing. But yeah, so next year I want to have a conversation about sex after sexual assault. And then um we'll talk about other things as well. I want to thank you all for coming in. I'm going to take a 15-minute break and then I'm going to come back and talk with Real Odds and Evens about men and women being friends. Bye. Shalom, you guys. Shalom.